G'day guys, welcome to another episode of Breathless Spearfishing Diaries. If you guys haven't checked out any of our previous episodes, please feel free to follow the on-screen cards above and check those out. They are definitely worth the watch. Guys, if you like our channel, you enjoy our videos, please like and subscribe. It makes a massive difference to our channel and it helps us reach amazing viewers just like you. This episode is about diving with sharks. Not just run-of-the-mill diving with sharks, normal spearfishing with sharks. Sure, that's quite common on YouTube, you might think. But guys, this is spearfishing with sharks during the Sardine Run in South Africa.
How's it going, guys? So the South African Sardine Run's the annual migration of the Southern African pilchard. They spawn off the Gullis banks in southern South Africa and then migrate up towards Mozambique. They do this between May and July when our waters in KZN drop below 21 degrees Celsius, which is preferred for them.
This dive takes us back to about 2018. I think it was late June. We managed to get a dive in. Water was dirty, it wasn't clean, big swell, cold water, lots of sardines, lots of sharks. We hopped in and it was just mayhem. Sardines attract game fish, which we target, and then they are targeted by sharks, and these ferocious predators are right on the back line, right inshore. The sardines get pushed right into backline and it just makes for awesome diving, and it's quite an experience.
The migration is hit and miss, really, especially diving, spearfishing, looking for fish. The fish tend to follow the smaller pockets, and some of the pockets can be several kilometers long. But such a large biomass of bait migrating up along the coast attracts a vast variety and quantity of predators. It's really a spectacle to see. When it does happen, there's no mistaking it. You know exactly what's going on.
This beautiful Garrick came right in. I managed to get a decent shot. These fish are spear bending masters that fight to the death, and he gave me gears. He gave me proper gears. Unfortunately, Garrick are under immense pressure from spear fishermen and fishermen alike, and we need to alleviate some of this pressure merely by limiting our catch and not catching our limit, and together we can save these species for plenty runs to come.
Alright, so here I'm sitting on the point for 20 odd minutes. I have a shoal of darger salmon or mulloway, jewfish, whatever you want to call them, come flying past underneath me, heading towards the churn on the point, and trailing behind them was a small pig-nosed grunter. And it's a species that does occur in KZN, KwaZulu-Natal, but they are residential to the Eastern Cape, a lot more common Eastern Cape and Western Cape. I swam towards the point, sat on the edge of the breakers, did my breathe up, left the surface, hit the sand, took a nice cruise slowly, trying to be non-threatening along the sand. And just before I got to the point, the fish were already coming out of the gully, going around the point, so I kind of intercepted them there. And it was just a wall of pig-nosed grunter, not one darger salmon to be seen, but just pig-nosed grunter after pig-nosed grunter. So I lined up on a nice silhouette, took what I thought was a decent shot. I missed the spine shot, obviously shot a bit low. He took off back into the churn. I turned around, I left, I tried to get out from underneath the breakers, still on the bottom. Once I was clear, I turned around and I started giving him gears, trying to get him out of there. But yeah, 8.6 kilos, and I was very, very happy with this fish. So was the family when we ate it. So we're sitting there looking for some fish now, and keep in mind you've got your head on a swivel, you're looking behind you constantly, because yeah, every time you look behind you there's a shark there. Diving in sardine seasons like this, it's exhilarating to say the least. Anyway, so I noticed this lead weight. I mean, I'm only in 3 meters of water, so I see this lead weight moving away. I look up and it's moving out to sea, so I think, well, that's strange. Go down to investigate, and there's a small shark attached to the end. And I say small shark, about a 2-meter shark, a ragged-tooth shark, rather docile, but in KZN by all standards 2 meters is a small shark. So you can see he's heavily fatigued. I had a chat with one of the other divers there. We decided we're going to try and get this hook out of its mouth. Some proper Nat Geo stuff. We didn't want to get too close to it, obviously it's still a shark. So holding the line, we tried to use the gun to get the hook out of the mouth, just push it out. That didn't work. I then tried to get underneath it, which I then realized what we're actually doing. I got a close-up of a mouthful of teeth. Yeah, I got the barb of my spear underneath the hook and I tried pulling it forward, tried to get the hook out that way. That didn't work. Yeah, so the last option was then to just cut the line as close to the hook as possible. And they do use trace from the hook up a little bit, so you can't actually cut that trace with a normal dive knife, so we then had to cut just above the swivel.
As you can see, these shark encounters are pretty hairy and they are not recommended. If you can stay away from a shark encounter, it's highly recommended to do so. Do not try this at home. Do not approach these predators. They are wild animals and they can bite.